All right, so we just got done watching Bahubali. There was a copy of it on YouTube. So me and my son just got done checking it out, and uh, this will be a real quick review of it, and it's going to be, we are going to have spoilers. I know it's a few years old, in case you haven't seen it. But we'll just kind of get down to our overall. What did you think of it overall?
It was pretty good. I mean, the first beginning part of it was a little weird, but after I got into the action and all that, it was pretty good.
Yeah, not completely used to that style of movie at first. It had some stuff at the beginning that we're not used to seeing kind of in the typical Hollywood movies. But it ended up I did like the story. I remember from our trailer reaction, we were like, "Oh, who's that baby in the water? You know, is that going to play a big part?" Well, movie starts off right out the bat showing the baby scene. So yeah, it's the lady she's saving, who it turns out to be Shiva, and so she's holding him up out of the water, and he gets rescued, and it's pretty cool. They kind of showed how showing him growing up. He's obsessed with getting up that waterfall, but his mom was like, "Oh, don't you be looking at that waterfall. Don't go up that waterfall." He's like, "I gotta go up the waterfall." So it shows him keep progressing through his age. He's like, "I'm gonna climb it." And then his buddies he grew up with are like, "Oh, he's climbing it again. He's gonna slide down. Oh, here we go. He keeps sliding down." But then he ended up, and it took me a second, when he finally got all the way up there, he was following this woman, but I guess it was like a vision he was seeing was guiding him to the top, and it didn't click with us right at first that was the other lady he ended up seeing a little bit later. He sneaks up on her while she's got her hand in the water, and he kind of tattoos her hand. Yeah. And it took me a minute. Once they got into their love song scene and all that, that's when I was like, that's. He's like, I came up here for you, and I was like, that was the vision he saw. That was her. I was bringing him up there. But evidently, from what we found out in the movie, that you find out later that is his. They're trying to rescue their queen, who's been captured by the bad dudes in the movie, and come to find out that's Shiva's real mom. And she's been, what did they say, 25 years?
Yeah, 25 years been in prison.
And they show this massive empire. I guess you'd call them kind of like the rebels who are trying to rescue her. They're like, was this, what was his name, Katapa?
Yeah.
I was like, well, he's a good guy. Will he help? And like, yeah, he is a good guy, but he's not going to help. He's basically sworn an oath to basically who's ever in charge. Yeah. And so they kind of show him, and he's a pretty bad A dude. Like, fights really awesome, busts this dude's sword up, who's some massive swordsman. He kind of puts him in his place. But then they end up before I go on, the cinematography, the visuals was really good in this movie. Where they were living at the bottom of that waterfall we were talking in the movie. I was like, wouldn't that be awesome to live at the bottom of a waterfall like that? Because it looked so good.
It looks peaceful too.
Yeah, you always got that nice cool breeze coming off from the water, hitting and everything. But I know he was interested from the trailer. It shows this huge, massive battle. He's really into like the swords and shields, big scale battles. He plays a lot of them on the PC, and so he was dying to get to that part but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, we got Shiva going up. He ends up helping the girl out. He's like, I'm gonna help you get that lady out. So they go through this whole thing where he sneaks in. There's a big avalanche scene. He causes an avalanche, which is pretty cool. They makes like a sled, and him and the lady go sliding down the mountain. But he ends up sneaking in, and was that was when they were erecting that giant gold statue, right?
When got into the city, that's when they were bringing the statue.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene. The people, they're trying to bring up this big gold statue, and one of the lines collapses, and so the statue starts falling, and you see him walk up. He just grabs the rope and just holds it. Boom! You watch the statues about to crush these people, and one of the dudes in charge is like, It's like it's okay. You know, it needs a statue this big needs 100 sacrifices. So they're the people in charge, the bad guys. Right off the bat, you're like, oh, they don't give a crap about anybody. Well, he stops it. The guy he looks and recognizes him, calls him Baobali, and kind of confused, like, well, his name's Shiva. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
So they start chanting that name, which drives the other guys, makes them upset. They're like, we gotta find out who this. Why are they saying that name? Who are they saying? Because again, from our point of view, we're like, who? Why? What's going on? Where's the bad blood here? So, but Shiva ends up breaking out the lady. He doesn't know it's his mom. Saves her, rides out of the city. They get into a pretty good skirmish with the guys chasing them. Ends up with this huge fight. Katapa ends up coming out to help one of the bad guys because again he's sworn loyalty, sworn to protect them. Spoilers: he ends up not protecting the dude.
Yeah.
And Shiva cuts his head off, and you see his corpse is running, and he's still staggering along. And you watch it. It was really cool down in the rain, and then he just kind of falls over and lands on the ground. And then Katapa decides he's gonna try to avenge. He's failed, so he's like, oh, I want to take out that guy. Starts running after him. He's got his spear. Guy turns around, and looks at him. And he drops his spear and slides up and just starts yelling, blah blah. And then the rain stops, and the guy's like, who? He's like, what is going on? He's like, well, why do I feel this affection and this anger because of what happened to this woman? I don't know. He's like, who am I? What's going on? And then Katapa, my DualShock disconnected, ends up and then starts to explain who he is and what happened. And then the movie then reverts back was it? How many years?
Like 50 years.
50 years, something like that, into the past. And this is where the giant battle kind of happens. So you got Baobali and his brother. I don't know how to pronounce his name. They said it in the movie, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it. They're going back and forth. They don't know which one's going to be king. And so they decide this huge battle, this 100,000 huge armies attacking them. Whoever kills the leader of that is going to end up being the king.
Yeah.
So it's just this huge battle, some very awesome scenery. They're just sending dudes flying left and right.
Yeah, it's like the mechanic they had, a machine or whatever that was. They had like a blade in the front.
Yeah.
And it was running. Though that was pretty cool. I like that scene. And I started thinking if they had any more of those, I would just send all those out in the front line.
Yeah, you could have sent like 30 of them all in a row and just went through. Because that thing, it's like a chariot with this big fan blade on the front, just spins super fast and it goes right through, and it's just chucking dudes left and right.
And then they had like their Hawatches and they had
that was so when we were watching it. They were loading up all these arrows in this machine. Like I said, he's really into that stuff. He's like, oh, it's the Hawatches.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly who made it. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think the Japanese were the first one to come up with it, or something like that. And like theirs had like little fireworks on it, so when they lit the fireworks, they just sent the rockets, the arrows going. But they each had like a giant slab that hit all of the arrows.
Yeah, so it comes up and smashes it, and it sends the arrows flying. And then the other brother, not the Baobali, the other guy has this giant. Look kind of like a mace that has a big ball on the end of it, but there's a chain attached to it, and he can pop that off and use it as like a ball and chain, and then he retracts it back in.
And then the brother puts like a red carpet attached to 2 cannonballs, and he
that was really cool. So he launches this huge carpet out, they're all looking at it, and it lands over the people, and they stab through it, and you see a guy
sniff his
fingers rubbing it. And I look, try to go, oh, they're gonna light that on fire, and you see the
carpet
dude,
of flame.
Yeah, he pulls back his bow with a flaming arrow and shoots it. And it boo lights it up, and then you see. And then there's a whole bunch more of these giant catapult balls with giant red fabric on it. And then they're lighting them in the air as they're going. It's lighting up. It's just lighting up everybody. But even after all that, you still see the army. It looks like it barely made a dent in that.
Yeah,
in that
100,000.
Yeah, 100,000.
And he only sent in half of his army. He only sent in 50,000.
Yeah, did he really?
Yeah, because they said at first he's gonna send in half of his army.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
because they said too to go after the head guy, because they said as soon as you took out the leader, the rest of them would
scatter.
So, yeah, they would just scatter off.
And then when they have their trident formation and they bring in the battering ram and hitting the shield.
Yeah.
I thought
Katapa.
I thought he was gonna like jump over the shield and start attacking the guys in the battering ram.
But they ended up battering like through, and like the line started
Yeah.
collapsing, and Bob Wally noticed that and come running back. He's like gets the troops all to get some
Rally.
gets them rally back, and they go back and they start taking over, and he's like, oh yeah, and then they're like, we're gonna go back and take out the dudes. Well, then the bad guys pull out these prisoners they had that they had snatched and lined up in front of them, and so Bob Wally stops. He's like, oh no, but his brother with a big
Keeps
fan
going.
blade going on, he just rides straight into him and just hacks up his own people with the bad guys. And what was cool, because you see Bob Wally do that, and he starts riding in, you see the prisoners all concerned, like, oh no. Well, they throw ball and chains around their ankles, which makes them collapse, and then they launch arrows in. So he saved all those prisoners, and he ends up getting the bad guy, the head bad guy, again, spoilers, and gets in this big fight, just knocking the crap out of him, gets this lion's head
Yeah,
thing,
hitting him with
yeah,
it.
starts using it as like a glove.
Oh, that hurt.
You know?
That one hurts so
He
much.
hits it right top of his head, and it
Yeah,
attaches.
like
he starts
swings it
dragging
down. It
him
has
with
those teeth. It would like slice his
Yeah.
head and went into his head.
Oh, and it grabbed hold
and
of
he
him.
was just
started
dragging him with it.
Oh,
That
would
would hurt. And then his brother came in with the ball and chain
Yeah.
and hit him with
Right
it.
as he was about to kill him, you see the ball come in, bam, knocks him down, and then it retracts back, and then people are going crazy. His dad's back there next to his mom, going like, "Yeah, my son, he's gonna be king now. He's gonna be king." And so and his brother Bob Wally looks at him, not even mad, kind of like, "All right, hey, good job, you got him."
Yeah.
And so they're sitting there in front of their mother, and she ends up saying the brother that killed them was going to be the commander of the army, and Bob Wally is going to be the king. The reason why?
It's because Bahubali didn't kill his own people to get to the bad guy.
Yeah, the other guy did. He mowed down his own people, and so, and that rightfully so. And she picked him to be king, and of course made the dad mad. He was all upset.
Yeah.
She's like, "No, my word is law." So like, boom, that's just the way it's gonna do it. And so they all walk off, and then boom, we're back to present time. And so they're all like, "Where's this great guy? Where's Bahubali?"
And then
In which we didn't explain. Bahubali looks exactly like Shiva.
yeah,
It looks exactly like him.
so
So like,
that's like his dad or something. I don't really
I'm
know.
assuming that's what it is, or it's a reincarnation. I don't know. We have because
reincarnation or his dad.
what happened was we're watching this movie, going like, "Man, the movie's like almost over," but they're just now back to present time, and they haven't resolved any issues with the baddies of the present.
Mhm.
And so they're like, "What happened to this guy?" And he's like, "Well, something worse than what did he say? He was stabbed in the back."
He's like,
What is
he's like, what? How could someone kill a warrior so great? You said weapons were afraid to touch him, and he's like,
Yeah.
there's something worse than that. Is a stab in the back, and he's like, well, who was it? And he was like, that traitor was me.
Yes, boom, spoilers. Katapa killed Bahubali because he says that traitor was, and I'm expecting to say his brother. I'm sure everybody else was.
Yeah.
He's like, me, and you see it, he's so distraught. He's like, me, and then it cut, and you watch him, he's stabbing him in the back.
And like, there's flames.
Flames everything around, stabbing in the back, credits. That is the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's Bahubali to the conclusion.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, he had to have had a reason to kill him. They're just gonna tell us what.
Yeah, what? I want to like just go and watch the movie right this second, but we haven't watched that trailer at all. So, yeah, that's our real quick review of Bahubali. Awesome movie. Can't wait. We can't wait to watch the second one to see the conclusion. Let us know if you want us to throw up the trailer for it, react to the trailer first before. That way we kind of go into it before we watch the movie, you see the trailer, kind of like watch our steps down. But yeah, that was our review of Bahubali. Awesome movie. If you remember to hit that like and subscribe. Again, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for the subscriptions. We passed 1,000 subscribers, which was pretty awesome. I never thought that would happen, so thank you guys so much. Appreciate it, and just let us know in the comments below if you'd like us to check out anything else.